Poetic Justice again here, and I came back to the server that I was on yesterday, and since that's gonna be what we're gonna be playing, until we get banned or whatever. I mean, we're not trolling or anything, it's just what happens. So, I have 22 skill points from the last time, which were, I believe I had 0 last time, I don't remember exactly. But anyhow, we said we're gonna wait until we had 25. But I don't really have to wait, because the only reason I have to wait is to speed up the process, and that's probably the big issue, is speeding the process up. Let's go ahead and look at our skills here. I don't really need that right now, but we do need this. More production efficiency, etc. And so we're gonna go ahead and grab that. And there we go, we got our maxed out. It was a pulp pitch recipe. Yeah, a big pitch recipe, I don't even know what that is. I guess turns a lot less wood into pulp. Yeah. Anyhow, so we don't really need any of that right now. We're probably gonna need the stone construction one, but now we have the ability to make a lot of the pitch that we're gonna make. Because of this recipe right here, the stone to sand. For each stone I turn into sand, it's gonna take a minute. But it'll give me 2 pitches, and I only need 1 pitch in order to get the, what's it called, mortared stone. And I only need 2 stone to get mortared stone, so effectively if I could get stockpiles to hold, unfortunately, here's the thing. Each of these stockpiles hold a 125 square cubic area. My bad, not square. And 125 each square is a single block of sand. Even though we're not going to be using it, but I guess little space, we can fit 125 sand. Now, in order to get all the sand we would need, we'd have to put a stockpile on this side of the house. 2 more stockpiles back here. We'd have to remove this room, obviously, and we'll probably do that in a little bit. And we'd have to put stockpiles here, stockpiles on the roof, and then we'd probably have to extend the roof and put stockpiles there. And then we'd probably have to make a basement of sort and put stockpiles there as well. And this is what we'd have to do to get enough sand stored to auto-shop the sand without having to worry about having limits. But we don't have to actually auto-shop the sand, so we'll go to our survival list recipes, and we'll just go ahead and max this out so we can make ourselves a store without getting ripped off by other people. And let's look at the market and see how messy the market has become. So the same prices from yesterday are still here, except now the price of wood seems to have gone up for this one person here that likes to rip people off for regular meat, which is this is an outrageous price because of how abundant you can get meat. But this guy only has 54, so that means that they're not very efficient. Now this keeps going down. Even I can build a store right now. This price is ridiculous. This price for the repair station is ridiculous. The price for the kiln is ridiculous. Pretty much all these prices, they're just completely ridiculous, and I don't know why anyone would even bother making that a price. But we're gonna set up our probably consider getting road construction, and it would be a temporary thing if we do that, and that will allow us to construct a road that will go all the way to where everybody else is. But in reality, we also need to get some mortared stone up and running, and when we get that mortared stone going, that could attract people. And even if it doesn't, because they're too lazy to actually come, it has its purpose. I hate deconstructing everything because it costs a lot of calories to destroy your own property. And now let's go ahead and build ourselves a store. Actually, we should probably build those stockpiles. And so this chest is located really close to everything. So I'm going to build a second chest so I can move that chest more easily. And then after that, I'm going to build this. I can move this stuff. Internet lag. And so one thing about the way I built this house, by the way, is that stuff and making it smaller and more efficient, people are going to see it. And when people see it, they're going to be like, oh, hey, look, I could build my house like that too. And it wastes a lot less wood. And so this kind of can be an inspirational thing, I guess, for some people to but one thing I won't try to mess up is the roof. That's going to keep the roof. Looks like something. But this right here is kind of like a window everybody can peek through, but they can't really enter. They can use this, which I'm going to prevent them from doing that because that can cause me some issues. Don't need them still in my business. Nice, we got our stockpile, which I put in their own space. Seems like the perfect spot for a stockpile, so I'm not gonna actually move the stockpile like I thought I was going to. Alright, let's see if our masonry bench is still workable. As you can see, it is. files, you know that. So about 3 more. And here's one thing about having this efficient setup: you can put chests in between the cracks if you want. Doesn't look nice, but if you're doing it so that you can, for utility purpose, I suppose it's great. Also, sometimes I think the stockpiles can be placed with some floor missing underneath them. I don't really remember how much, but it could be possible to make stockpiles fairly easily with the floors missing. And it wouldn't be very realistic if you are into the immersion of the game or whatnot. I put that too close. And so this does make your land look a little ugly. I'll be right back.
Hey, did you see that deal with that?
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about the prolonged wait, and let's see. These. So this chest is probably gonna get covered pretty bad if we keep building stuff like this. So I'm gonna turn this like that. So realistically, if somebody wanted to build a house, make it look nice, make everything about it nice, gonna have to say that I don't actually believe that they're gonna. Let's go ahead and make this more efficient. They're not gonna use like all mortared stone. I think that you can hold 10 mortared stone on a single line. So that's 10 times 5, which is 50, times another 5, which is 250. So that's about, we have 4 completely empty spaces that we certainly don't need. So yeah, we got 1,000 mortared stone that we could build and keep. And if we keep 1,000 mortared stone, you would think that would be enough for everybody to be happy, but the truth is, we also need a little buffer like this, extra space, if you will. So we can't really produce 1,000 flat mortared stone. We'd have to produce 750, unless we put another stockpile above our house, which I'll probably do because I think that'll be convenient. I'll do it on this side. Looks a little nicer to me. And I guess I'll have to use all my wood. Not all of it, I mean like from the stack here. Extra stockpile on the top roof, and that maybe even expand the roof eventually. On top, and it's gonna look really, you know, ugly, I guess, if we do that. So we'll just put one stockpile on there for now and just keep it at that. Going a little low, but we're probably not gonna need any more regular wood now, because if we start making some of this mortared stone, what's gonna happen is so I guess we could technically make an auto shop for sand, because the sand's gonna turn to pitch anyway. But we're really gonna need some more chests if we're gonna do this correctly. I think you could put 100 pitch in a single stack, and a storage chest can hold all 100. So that's like, let's see, it's about 10,000 though. 10,000 pitch is what we can make if we make an auto shop total. And so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. As you can see, we're not going to actually need 10,000 pitch because we're going to be using that to create mortared stone. So, in reality, we'll have to base our auto shop off of the mortared stone being produced, not off of our pitch production. Or based it off of our stockpiles, actually, because we have 5 completely empty stockpiles, and we can get about 1,000 mortared stone pumping out. Once we get 1,000 mortared stone, then it's a question of whether or not people are going to use our raids. And they'll have to use our credit system, and so they'll have to sell us something in order to get something from us. What they sell us is going to be based off of the amount of work I do, or how fast I do it. So, if it doesn't take that much time for me to collect mortared stone, or I mean, not mortared stone, just collect regular stone, and I gotta get mine going, and I mine my way down, and then I nice mine going from one of these rivers, and just completely suck the river dry of stone to like a certain depth, and that's when you know mortared stone for the people who are actually going to go use your shop. And some people are going to be upset because it's mortared stone and you can't just carry it without a wheelbarrow. That's where the the guy who makes the roads, which, let's see if anyone's made roads yet. Yep. See that? That's a road right there. So we got a road maker, but he looks like he's lazy because he didn't connect everybody's stuff yet. Oh, and it looks like he made like a bridge over there. He made a ramp over here. So he probably lives right here. We live over here. Somebody put a little workbench over near us. So they were probably eyeballing this area. And that's, that might mean that we need to take some of our claims from over there and make them go more south so that we can assure ourselves a part of this river here, because this river is pretty important to our location. Yeah, we need to unclaim 2 areas. I can rename my deed if I want, and I'll rename the land. I really don't like unclaiming land that's in front of the behind the house, because I don't plan on that being the house, if you know what I'm saying. That's just a work space. But if I could get more skill, like, I have to prioritize like this. If not, what's gonna happen is somebody's gonna come and troll us, and that's not gonna be fun. And so at least this guarantees that we have some part of the river that we own, and so we can mine that as much as we want underneath our own property. Alright, and now let's see what we're gonna do next. Make more chest, maybe. But I need to make a shop. That's a 100% certain thing that I actually need. Alright, so we have enough room to put a shop here. Then we'll put probably 4 masonry stations right here. And if we get into bricks, which I really don't want to, then we'll have the brick thingy right over here. And we'll probably have to expand this out in a little bit. And the reason we'll have to expand it out is because each of the little stations that we have inside require a certain amount of space to function properly. So it takes 4 seconds to make mortar stone. So we don't really need to worry about waiting too long, being that we can create 2 pitches in 1 minute. Let's see how much it takes. Only 3 seconds to make a pitch. 1 minute to make the stuff to make the pitch out of the sand. So in total we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would say about 6 of these, and so that's each time we move this building out, it's going to add 25 extra space, so for each square, because of the dimensions we made it. That means that if we're going to need 6 of these, then we're going to need 6 total space, but we also need enough space for the store. So let's go ahead and look at the and we're going to need wood. Oh. And we're also going to need 10 tree from yesterday that was growing. We're going to need this wood, and then we're going to need some stone, and then we can make our I hate that these trees don't give seeds very much. And chop, chop, chop. So I think I'm going to do is I'm probably going to connect the an upper area, and that upper area is going to be. Let's go ahead and get this tree done. I hate that. And that tree, because it was young, I guess, because it just grew, didn't have a lot of wood. So we really didn't get much wood out of the tree, but we got enough that we need. The idea to keep it, but I'm pretty sure somebody would have chopped it, so. Now this tree even has a tree that is just like completely new. Still gives almost as much wood. As a tree that's fully grown if it's a different type of tree. I'm just pointing that out so we know this where the log is, because the map shows a great dirt spot. And there's somebody on the south part of the island. I wonder what they're up to. I'm gonna check it out in a second. But we don't really have to worry about them too much anymore. We don't really have to worry about other people too much. But we will whenever they start trying to push their currencies on other people. And there's me here. This person's making a new character or something. And I think we might have enough hope to invest it in one of those scrolls at that scroll shop from yesterday. So each of these stockpiles can go all the way up to where the roof's at, basically, in the roof. I can expand it and put more stockpiles on it. The idea is to keep every stockpile and chest that I have in range of these facilities that are going to need it. And my only product is going to be mortared stone, so because that's what we're specialized in. Go inside and access one of our chests here. Nope, we still don't have enough. That's how expensive that guy's shop is. They lowered the price on it. Now this guy has a smelting scroll, which we're going to need. He's going to want stone, which isn't going to be hard to get him, so I guess we'll go ahead and go over to where he's at and just knock out some stone real quick to get that smelting scroll that we don't have, I don't think. Nope, we don't have it yet. But we really need it. And we're also going to need to make a blast furnace as soon as we can. To have to put away tailings while we're smelting. Alright, so this guy has a ordered stone house, so no wonder why he wants stone. But the thing is, let's see if this water has anything. Nope. Okay, he wasn't too. I can't say he's stupid just yet. His house. This guy really is giving a good deal on this stone. We're gonna have 60 credits with him. You sell tailings. Come on, man. It looks like this guy was also selling a road tool and a wagon, so there goes that. That looks like we got our land back. Stone credits. We're not gonna cash in on that because he doesn't have anything we need other than these 2 scrolls. And now the value on his scrolls were probably because of the value of the stone. The scrolls were almost the right value, but in reality, you gotta look at the stone's value and like the raw materials value. That's really what dictates everything's value in a market that's really saturated with people, and that's the only way you can actually tell the actual value of something. People like the other factors like scarcity and stuff like that, but that's not really what makes the value of stuff. Not entirely. And let's go ahead and start claiming this land really fast because this guy's heading towards our direction. Okay, there we go. Haha. Well, what are you gonna do? Wait. Now, one thing we need to do is we need to get these huge loans and get. Let's go ahead and just get the shop already. Let's get the shop made. So I haven't seen any stone fly into space yet. Now that's a good sign that this server is not garbage in terms of its connectivity. But before we start building our shop, we're gonna repair our tools because they're a little more important at the moment. Alright, we need one more, literally one stone. Oh, almost had stones flying in space there. Property, that flags all the servers. I don't know why it does that. Crap. Now we're probably going to end up placing our we'll probably expand this probably out 5 more just to plan for the future, I guess. I don't know how much wood that's going to cost, but it's going to cost some wood. Uh, I think we miscalculated a little bit on that one. Oh. Now, I think we'll move our store over. Keep our front window for our store. So this is the cheapest way to operate. That's why I'm doing it this way. Yeah, it doesn't look nice, but it's getting the job done in the game's mechanics. In real life, obviously, you wouldn't do it this way. There you go. One thing we could do, I guess, is we could move this. We can move the masonry table. No, we're not gonna do that. Okay. Who walks by my house is probably going to be a little shocked at the weirdness of the way it looks. But I guess nobody cares. So we can still access our chests even if we put more of these here. We're going to need to put 6 total. So I guess 2 on the back wall, 1 space this way, and then 2 here, 2 there. And I don't even know if that's going to be enough space because we need to have enough space for our shop. And then I'm going to show you guys a trick on how to operate 4 masonry tables, 6 masonry tables at the same time without having to worry about independent stockpiles. Because you gotta divide all your materials between those 4, and that gets really annoying because if you put all in one stockpile, or even if you just put all on any of the stockpiles, they're gonna all go to one station, and that one station is going to work at suboptimal efficiency. So everybody keeps passing by our house, and that's kind of a good thing because that means our the whole map's spawn area is back there somewhere. So that makes it more likely that whenever people realize that we have our stone here, they're probably going to try to sell near of us so they can have an advantage. Especially with everybody else charging a lot extra for their locations for whatever reason. If you do that in real life, you should probably if somebody, you know, drops by and takes a couple of things for themselves. Because you're basically stealing from other people. Actually, we might as well just start considering how much it's going to cost us to build those other stations. We need 5 more masonry tables. So we're gonna need another tree's worth of wood. Which, like I said, I really hate having to do that. But then we're gonna need a whole bunch of stone. To set everything up so that we can just pump stuff out and everybody can get what they want and everybody's happy at the end. That he should be trying to do. That's why that guy yesterday had that Hulog auto crafting station. But he had removed it. Let's see. Nope, it's still there. Guess it's still in good condition. Yep, it's still in good condition. That's a surprise. And here left the stump. Not only did they leave the stump, but they chopped the tree that wasn't fully grown yet. And that probably gave them almost no wood. And that's really bad, because these trees need time to grow. We know someone's nearby, and we don't want our wood when we chop this down, so we're gonna have to chop this into little pieces really fast. Alright, now we can clear the pulp out. We should have enough pulp to get something from that skill shop. Drop a little waypoint so that we know where we gotta go back. would upset me is if one of these people would pretend that they chopped that tree down and that I'm just stealing it or something, but in reality, you can see that's not how it was. So, but that we don't have to worry about that right now. These people don't seem like they're the kind of people that just important word to. Man, I hate socialists. Rules are for fools. I really wish they had an option you could always look like it's daytime for the player. Or at least make the nighttime pretty much pitch black and force you to have to use the mechanics. Alright, so let's see how much space we got in there. We gotta hope that the shop uses 25 space. If not, then we're gonna have to expand this again. And that'll require taking this crap apart again. It's almost done. Go ahead and run a few errands, maybe. The time has come. Alright, let's see how much this is. Okay, so everything looks good here. We should be able to make 5 more of those tables, masonry tables that we're gonna need. And it's quite easy to get them to start producing all the stone you need. Each table, when you run to it and you put 20 stone in, it's gonna take 20 minutes to make all the stone into sand. It says automatically works itself out, but essentially you gotta make sure that for the connect the stockpiles from the stone stations. And the reason why is because you're going to be manually putting the stone in yourself in the stone station, so the stone and sand, my bad. To make the sand. So it's better to do it that way. That way you use all your stone to make sand. And this comes out a little nasty. And we'll consider the nature of their mint before we do anything with our stock. And so this price of advanced campfire cooking went up. Absolutely ridiculous price. The price of bricklaying is ridiculous. We already know this one. We already know that one. We already know that one. Alright, so this guy has nothing to offer us except food. And so we're gonna make the most out of it, except he's no longer buying pitch. So we're just gonna go ahead and put our pitch back. Anything he's buying is not worth giving him. Even the mortared stone. Even though we got high efficiency, it just feels completely wrong to give him it because it's like he's using us. It's like kind of like the first time you get a first real job and your parents lie to you about how much it costs to pay the rent, and they mess you over. That's kind of what it's like, and that's why I'm not gonna do business with this guy. We're just gonna have to save our pitch, hope, or whatever we're called. We'll give it to somebody who is more beneficial to the economy. The good news is in the game they can't force you to give them your pulp, but in real life they do. And then thanks to certain types of indoctrination, nobody else Alright, let's start building those we're gonna need 200 stone total. We have 40 stone. We're gonna probably use some of that stone anyway. Actually, we have no stone, never mind. We only have 3, which is basically mean. Now we have no stone, and so we're gonna go ahead and get 200. We'll probably end up getting 220 total because we're gonna have to repair our pickaxe. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's about 11 dives in the water and back up to do this kind of thing. And you want to do the floor first if the floor is made of whatever stone you're looking for. And the reason why is because sometimes the stone likes to fly into space, depending on what server you're on. What the heck? And so there's that guy gonna overfarm the bison. I wonder how many bison there are now. The more new players that come, the more bison are gonna die. And if I could capture bison into like a container or something, make some fences or something and put them in there, I would do that. That way they're on my property and nobody can take them. What? There we go. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, food's important in the game, but more people consume more food, the less that people specialize. And that's because they end up having to do things they didn't specialize in. And it messes everything up. And in the real world, this kind of thing is kind of to some degree true. Because we have people who do taxes. Taxes are a very simple thing. I mean, you just give your taxes and, you know, they can just check a list off. Oh, hey, you gave us your taxes, congratulations. Instead, there's this huge process that's been artificially created by people who want to be middlemen. And you end up getting penalized for not going through the middlemen instead of getting instead of them being responsible for people's stuff because they chose that responsibility. They treat them as if they didn't choose that responsibility, and that's not the truth. Our society's completely messed up right now because of nobody specializing in what they're actually working in. Everybody has to get a new job every so often, and everybody can't depend on each other enough, so nobody's doing work the way that it should be done. And then everything's getting automated, so whenever people actually decide they're going to specialize their business in something, they don't hire any workers because they don't need workers. And so because everybody can't reliably get trade anymore, except for the upper class people who are upper class artificially, because the currency in our market is is a very private currency. Therefore, it is artificial that they're successful or rich. It's like forced on us. That's why I don't like socialists. And we gotta make 3 more dives under the water, and then we should be good. accidentally hit that rock anyway. Oh well, we'll just go ahead and pre-mine our rocks so that we don't have to worry about hitting anything with the pickaxe when we come back on accident. And the funny thing about all this stuff I just did is all this stone is getting used as an investment. It's not even getting used to produce anything yet. This is a project, and I have to finish the project before I can produce anything. If this shop is connected to the stockpiles, four, five, okay. So yep, our shop's connected to all the stockpiles, so that means that reach. Wait. Let's see if I count this correctly. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Okay, yep. Everything's good. So as long as the shop is connected to our stockpiles, we don't have to worry about certain factors that are gonna come into existence. So this right here was kind of my idea for layout, is 3 right here, 3 right there. Our back ones would be used for actual pitch and the mortared stone. So it takes about 20 minutes. Yeah, it takes about 20 minutes to to produce the sand from a full load. If you go to the bottom of the water, let me explain this more in detail. Water here, and then I get this stone. I get a full load of 20 stone. But anyway, I get a full load of 20 stone. I run in here on the station. It's going to take 20 minutes to turn all of that into sand. But in total, I'll get 40 pitch in 20 minutes from that load. That 20 stone to each, all 4. As it's going to take, if I put 20 on each one, there'll be 80 stone total that I put. That'll be 160 pitch. So I would need 320 stone, and that would make that we would need basically 160 mortared stone. That's but in total that takes 160. And then we got 320. 320. Oh, wait. I'm doing this math wrong. Alright, so we're going to need 320 plus 80 stone to fully do what I just said. So that's 400 stone to get 160 of our mortared stone. So that's 60 mortared stone is the same as 400 stone. Now we can do what we're going to do in our shop. So our max divide will be 400. Will be we'll have to think about this one. So this is the fairest price. I think. I might be wrong. Actually, let me go ahead and consider this. I'll lower the price temporarily. 400 stone equals 160 mortared stone. So that means for each 2.2 stones, so I get a mortared stone. I probably did the terrible worst math you've ever heard, but that's so we can assume this at 3 and get a fair deal. Yeah, that seems fair. That seems fair. And so the reason why this is a good deal for us is because it takes let's see, 400 divided by 3 is 133, but we're gaining in overall, so as long as we deal in bulk, we're going to gain from that. And we're not going to do this permanently, it's going to be temporary. So by the time we get more skill points and we can invest in more stuff, everything should be good. Here they are. So, I don't know if some people are gonna think this looks ugly. But it doesn't matter. So, these 4 here, everything should be working. Let me test. Yep, everything's good. This uses the exact amount of space that we need. So to get this ball rolling, we're gonna get maybe let's see, we can hold 1,000 mortared stone, that much I know for sure. And then we'll have enough space for buffers. 100 stone that we're saying we're buying. And so in reality, we only need about 160. We only need about 160 more stone to get this ball rolling. That way people can continue to give us stone. Then we can queue up more projects and we can continuously work. But if we disconnect the sand stations, I have to from the stockpiles, and then manually do everything by hand, which was the idea. Stations kind of connected, but not really, and people can continue to get the stone, and it'll all be turned into pitch. But then we'll have a big backload of stone we'll have to get ourselves to turn that into more stone correctly. But I think that's how we're gonna have to do this. So I guess I'll go ahead and show how I'm gonna set this up. So I'm gonna keep all the storages connected. That way, people can continue to give us stone, so they can get more stone in exchange. The only catch, of course, is that for every stone they give us, if they want more stone, they're gonna have to give us 3 stones. For every stone they give us, it's gonna give us enough pitch to make 6 more stones, though. And so we're gonna have to manually get the rocks ourselves. That's where the price catches up to us, depending on how much stone they give us. And we're also gonna have to need stone to repair our stuff, so I might have to backlog my stuff a little bit here. I don't think anyone's actually gonna give us 400 stone. That's what they'll do. And so here we could use a middleman. We could use a guy who's a miner that it's like kind of like being a hunter. Anyone can do it, but we don't have one of those. So 2, 3. Shiznit. And this is actually going to be a really good shop for a whole thing that I fell off playing early on. This is probably going to be a treat that nobody has, and they're not going to get anywhere else. And it's really important to conduct business this way, because if you're going to be a capitalist and you're assuming you're going to be a selfish person or something, you can't be greedy if you're stupid. Okay, I'm just gonna put that out there. You really can't be greedy if you're stupid. And there's so many people who think you can, and because from my point of view, they are really stupid. So what they do is they waste all the resources in the community for money. Whenever the funny thing is that it was never about the money in the first place. It was about the commodities and about getting nice stuff and having nice things so you can enjoy it and everybody can chit chat and be happy. Instead, people who are stupid and selfish, but stupid, and that's the key point. They're stupid, not the selfish ones that are not stupid, okay? I just want to divide those two up so we can get that cleared. But the ones that are genuinely just idiots. And what happens is these people who are socialists end up coming into existence. And the socialists, they're slightly misguided by people who are just stupid. Our community wasn't properly educated, and that's why people don't see the benefits of capitalism. Because it's like you see a turtle crawling on the floor, and you just decide to throw it and see how far you can chunk it, and you kill the turtle. There was absolutely no purpose to killing the turtle. Maybe you got joy out of it or whatever. But if you keep up with that behavior, maybe there's no more turtles to throw, or maybe the turtles were important for something that you just didn't know because you were too stupid. And that's what happens. And so other people are like, well, I don't like it that he's killing turtles. It makes me feel bad. And then they're like, well, maybe our ways of allowing everybody to kill the turtles just doesn't work. Allowing anyone to do whatever they want just doesn't work. And the reality is that the difference between him and everybody is that he was a moron and that everybody else is a normal human. You get what I'm saying? Now, anyway, I think we got to put our new stockpile up on our roof now. So, I'm going to manually disconnect 4 different stations from these stockpiles. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow us to manually move our stone to be made into sand. Sells us, unless somebody sells us 400 stone at once, we're not going to get backlogged. And the idea that we're going to have to work a little bit is that we're going to have to do a little bit of work, just a little bit, so that we can get something in stock for people to buy. And so we do this when we queue up. All the sand you can possibly imagine we can queue. And of course we can't queue up anymore, so we go to the next station and we queue up. Then we go to the next station and we queue up. So how this is going to run, by the way, I'm going to say it again to give everybody a good example. These 4 stations here are running stations. And the way that running stations work is I don't necessarily have to put the stone in here manually. I could just put the stone in the stockpiles. Because even though these are disconnected from the stockpiles, I can still manually drag stone to them like that. And for a temporary amount of time, they'll take that stone and they'll turn it into sand. Now we have these 2 stations back here. This one here will be turning sand into pitch. And you might be wondering, well, why did I... Why did I, if each sand makes 2 pitch, 5,000 sand, why did I have 4 stations making 5,000 sand? So that's 20,000 sand total for this one station that's gonna make 5,000 sand. And the simple answer to that is that because it speeds the process up a lot, because it takes a long time to make sand. This turns each sand into what I call a emulated 15 seconds, if you will. Instead of regular 15 seconds, the average time to produce one sand ends up being 15 seconds. It still takes 60 seconds for the first 4 sand to be made, if I put 4 sand in each of these stations. Thus, the average time would seem to be 15 seconds, but in reality it's not. However, the output overall at the end of the project is the same as if I said so. Therefore, it is like, it's true, but it's not true. You get what I'm saying? That it doesn't work that way. But if you were a data analyst, you would assume that's how it was. So, therefore, it is an emulated 15-second timer on each of the sand being produced. Is the mortared stone, which will, this is our bread and butter right here. Mortar stone are pre-making their self because we have a few regular stones, and the only issue with that is that to these projects. And the reason we're canceling it is because we're just going to run stone here manually for now. But if we don't, then we're not going to have enough stone to repair our tools whenever we try to shift gears over here in a second. There we go. So I put 4 stone, or I put 20 stone in each of these. Run to these, put 20 stone in each. Okay. Then after that, I'm going to have 160 pole. Therefore, I need 320 stone at the station. So that means it was fairly easy for me to get the stone to make the sand into pitch. Extremely easy. This turns the sand into pitch. It turns it into pitch really fast when it actually comes. And then this is the final step. I need 320 stone to be put here for all these stations to give me the right amount that I need in the end. So that means it's going to be a lot of running. Of course, I always go to the incorrect chest first. Let's go ahead and repair our little tool here just to be on the safe side. Even if our tool breaks. We don't have enough stone, it says. But we should. Oh. Don't really need these 2 things here anymore. So we're going to put them somewhere else. I think it's a bad spot. Yeah, pretty much everywhere in here is a bad spot. The only one that we can put in here that's a good spot is going to be this thing in here. Put it a little closer to the stockpile. There we go. Alright, so let's see how many stockpiles this is connected to. This is where things get annoying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, good. Everything has to be close enough to connect to all the stockpiles to which the material that it would need is at. In this case, it needs to be connected to all the stockpiles that I'm going to have stone in. But this fire doesn't really need to be connected to all the stockpiles, it just needs to be connected to these two chests. These two chests are close enough, so the fire doesn't really need to worry about that. And in fact, whenever I actually cook anything, I'll probably go directly to the fireplace, not the chest. So now that we got that cleared up, let's start our first Alright. So we're going to manually run the stone in so that we can have a visual of what we're taking to where. And we put the stone right there. It's going to automatically start turning it into sand. And that sand's going to automatically come over here, but then it's going to be automatically taken from the table that's doing the pitch. Alright, this server's starting to lag, and that's really frustrating. And I know it's the server because I'm a cloud computer to play this game, so it has to be the server. If it was my computer, I would be lagging in a different manner. So 2 stations are full of the stone it's going to need. And there is a way to automate the entire process. But to automate the entire process takes a lot of limiting the numbers at a very low rate for the sand to stone. So right now it's sub-automated. Alright, so we got the 80 stone. Now we need 360. Now we're gonna move this all into a stockpile, and it's gonna make our life a lot easier. As you see, the stone just stays there now, it doesn't automatically vanish. Completely, then they would have to vanish. But then we wouldn't have enough stone in our buffer to repair our tools. If this actually catches on, by the way, which it probably won't because people are really stupid, I'm gonna have to advertise it a lot. If it finally catches on, then what's gonna happen is that I won't have to be under here mining all this stone. Other people are gonna mine the stone. And so basically, even though I'm doing very cheap service, it's very cheap for me to do. For me. Then everybody else will have to, will be like, oh well, he's doing a cheap job for mortared stone, we're gonna use him. Instead of making their own mortared stone. Very poor idea. So because we have an excess amount of gain, so I guess you should say we have an excess amount of gain, we have to consider other middlemen in this process here that we're doing. Because we're gonna give away a mortared stone for each 3 stones that we're given. Opens a shop like this, there's no way that they're gonna give as many mortared stones away as we are. 10. In total, we are gaining quite a bit here. But I don't know how much we're gaining exactly. So we can invest into buying from others a different commodity if they want mortared stone. And the issue with what commodity will probably end up being food or something. And so some food is expensive in this game to make, but if you actually get everything set up the way that it should be set up, food should actually be really cheap. Not for everybody, just for the person making. But it never ends up falling that way because everybody's a dummy. Boy. Alright, let's look at the map, see what everybody claimed and where. The closest neighbor we have to us is this person here. I know this person, but they're right really close. Oh, what's this? It looks like the public viewing station has been claimed. That's what it looks like. Yep. See, I knew you couldn't have a good thing for too long. Owned it. I don't know if that's the person who rightfully claimed it or not. But, stone is really cheap to repair your tools with. Iron, on the other hand, is not cheap until you get a blast furnace to repair iron tools with. So if you invest in the iron too early, it's without a blast furnace, it's a really bad idea because you got to get rid of tellings, and if you don't get rid of tellings, everybody's gonna get really upset at you. And that kind of stuff can really get you in trouble because you can make laws, and if people don't obey the laws, the only system that currently exists to punish people who don't obey the public laws that are being made by people is to outright ban them. And that's how it's supposed to be, I guess, used to some degree. But because of that, there doesn't have to be laws for people to feel like they need to ban somebody. Which is why people have been making their own servers, because they just don't want to deal with other people banning them. But then those people end up being idiots themselves and banning somebody without any evidence that they did anything, etc. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. Whee! Alright, let's see how much we got now. Now, this might not be tiring physically in any way. This is really mentally exhausting though, because I've probably done this on more than one server many times. And it all ends the same way. Almost every time. With somebody who's a socialist that doesn't understand the importance of infrastructure. Just outright causing havoc. So it looks like we created a bit of an anomaly here by mining these rocks. But that's fine. Eventually we're going to create a mine that's going inside the rocks. But not right now because it's not deep enough. So whenever that happens, what we'll do is we won't have to worry about staying under the water, which costs calories. Alright, so we need to dive 6 more times to get all the stone we need. And we'll probably also end up selling some of this charcoal stuff. The server's starting to lag. And I know it's the server, because if it was me, I would fill it in a different way, because this is a cloud computer. Alright, so anyway. Whenever we here, we might mine some of this and then we'll sell it. And the question is, because people don't need a lot of that. The coal is fairly not too useful for everybody. Maybe for a blast furnace though. 3, 4, Alright, now the water's pouring down. I think that fixes it, yep. That was a server lag that was causing the water not to fall correctly. Alright, 3 more, and we're good. Three, 4, 5. So one of the reasons why the server's lagging like this is because the guy's claiming land at the same time there's somebody who just joined for the first time, so they have to load the map. And every time the server gets high volumes of people at once, it has the potential to crash, and that's a bad thing. And a server should be broken into, I suppose, a kind of buffer server and a regular server, where the buffer server handles the people coming in, and the regular server doesn't feel a thing because the other server is giving all the information it needs and copying and all that stuff, while not breaking into everybody's stuff. And so that one rock flew into space just there. I think this is the last load. It's not going to take long to figure out that that stone's probably still turning to sand. And even if it wasn't, it's going to be mortared stone really fast. So let's count this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, okay, we got enough. Go ahead and repair a tool. Station. And kind of worry because oh, yeah. Dang it. I forgot. These aren't connected to anything. So there's no way the sand could be going anywhere. I have to use this as my buffer stockpile. A lot of stuff up. to redo this properly, I'm gonna have to take the loss, and I'm gonna have to put the stack somewhere where I expect everything to connect to. Okay, that's stuck off right there. And so one of the things is that this should automatically be pumping out pulp or pitch or whatever. Yes. But where's our mortared stone going? Okay, so we could have had everything right, actually. And I could have just boloed this process up. Yeah, I think I did. Boloed it. Actually didn't even need to reconnect or redo anything for this one. We'll go ahead and just keep the... Well, that's interesting. Crashed, and I still haven't set my shot up completely. And it looks like the server crashed. So the bad thing about server crashes is that sometimes it only saves in 10-minute intervals, meaning that it can roll back 10 minutes if it crashed, which it looks like it did. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this tier then. So I think you guys got an idea what I was doing when I was setting up a mortar stone shop, but it was a manual shop, it wasn't an auto shop. And what that would do is it would allow me to manually, it wouldn't auto shop, but I would have such a large enough amount of material ready to be sold that there's no way it could be sold all at once. So I can manually keep dumping their stuff every time I get on to make more and more. And that was going to take a while, so it's kind of a shame that this went offline so soon. Anyhow, I hope you all enjoyed, and thank you for watching.